With 6 games to go, we look set for a top 5 spot. But how high could we go? Backups Zadaka and Gumduz both suffered long-term injuries, which won't help with our current injury crisis. And with 5 players missing, we ended up drawing 3-3 away to Troyes, as they scored all of their shots on target and injured Gonçalo Estevez for a week. Then, 28 hours after Mitrovic recovered from his injury, he got injured again. As a result, he couldn't then make an impact on our game against Monaco, as we drew 0-0. But we finally picked up a 1-0 win over relegation-threatened Lorient, which means with 3 games to go, 3 points guarantees us some form of European football next season. Well, guaranteed is a loose term. You see, 5th place does get a Conference League spot, but it depends on who wins the French Cup. If Marseille win, that's okay. They're already in the top 5. But if 13th place Auxerre win and we finish in 5th place, they take our European spot. Up first though, we have our only threat to the top 5, 6th place Lens. And if we win, there's no one who could catch us up in the league. Our injured players are getting back to fitness. Gunduz is probably not quite ready to play, although you wouldn't play anyway to be fair, but Mitrovic is limited to 45 minutes, Annan limited to 45 minutes, Pablo Martinez 45 minutes, Vaclav should be okay to play to be fair, and Zadaka is out for the rest of the season. So the players on the pitch right now have been playing a lot of football recently, but they've been grinding out some good results. We've not lost. And actually, Gianluca Busio is maybe the surprise package out of all of this. We know he's good, but he's actually gone on to score 5 goals from a starting 11 right now, and only Azuzi Kubu in the starting 11 has more goals than him. Mitrovic has 10, and Nan's got 6, but they've had a lot more game time than him. So maybe next season, Busio needs to be used a lot more often. So as kickoff is upon us, as you can see, we are 5th place. Lens are 6th. There's a 7-point gap as things stand with a 0-0 draw, but if we win, I think it might mathematically guarantee us, in fact it will mathematically guarantee us a top 5 place, which is superb. Beyond maybe what we could have expected this season. I think our highest reaching goal was European football, but I don't think we ever thought we'd actually get there. But it turns out we've had a very good season. Things have worked out nicely for us as Azizi Kubu takes his shot and somehow someone's offside there, so not quite sure why that's a highlight. But moments later, we are bringing the ball forward as Fontaine, I thought was brought down in the air. He actually goes and gets the ball instead, so stays on his feet, retains possession into Ahmed, back to Fontaine to the far post where we get some shots away, but we've not been able to find the back of the net. The resulting corner, will this result in a goal for us? Yaziz puts it across the face of goal. Unlucky there not to score from the corner. Bryce Samba was rooted to the spot. But the highlights seem to suggest it's all us right now, which means we are probably going to lose this game 2 or 3-0 at this stage, as Lens actually have the chance to come forward in their yellow and red kits. I'm kind of a fan of them, to be fair, as, well, I'm not a fan of that. So not really an ideal start to the game for us, but this corner could result in not a shot on target yet, as... Why was that a highlight? There's another highlight straight from the goal kick, and if Lens get a second goal here, I'll be very frustrated. However, Fontaine, great interception and challenge. Busio finds Aziz Yakubu and he hits the post. I think Bryce Samba got a touch on it to put it onto the post there. It is starting to feel like maybe this is just one of those games where everything goes your way apart from getting that shot in the back of the net. I mean, 27 minutes played, 10 shots we've had, 10 shots to their 3, and yet they're winning. Gonçalo Estevez with the throw into Busio. Gonçalo Estevez in towards the middle. It goes all the way through to Bryce Samba, who collects that one and is going to do something with it right now. Hopefully just rolls it out to Aziz Yakubu. Not far off, I suppose, but it does actually go to their player, which is frustrating, as Samba gives it to Seiler and he can bring it forwards. Now, Aziz Yakubu has been pretty useless since he's come back from the African Cup of Nations, but he was so good at the start of the season that he's still actually the second top scorer in our division right now. He's got 15 in the league. I think third place has got 14. Mbappe's leading the way. He's got like 34 goals. So Mbappe's insane. Aziz Yakubu can't quite get on the end of that one, unfortunately. But if he can bag a couple of goals in today's video, that will secure his place as the second top scorer in the league. And with only 15 right now, it does feel a little bit... I don't know, I feel a bit annoyed by it. I shouldn't be. 15 goals is a lot. However, I want 20. And also, he got like 12 of those in the first half of the season. He was absolutely insane. You couldn't stop him scoring in the first 10 games, and since then he's not been great. So we've had to rely on Mitrovic a little bit more, as he's got plenty of goals in the second half of the season. But there's not a whole lot of goals in this team actually thinking about it. No one, I think Mitrovic and Aziz Yakubu are the only ones in double figures. And I'd like to have 3 or 4 around that, but maybe I'm being a bit greedy. So as we approach half time, we are losing, which is not ideal. We need to not concede now. Whew, that was close. We need to come out in the second half absolutely fighting. Finish the arms. What was that? Get your act together. Also going to bring Anan on because he needs to get on the pitch. And also, Aziz Yakubu, 6.2 rating. My word. He will be coming off the pitch shortly if he doesn't start to play well in the next 10 minutes or so. We're going to shout encourage right at the start of the half. Everyone's got a smiley face, but the first 10 minutes have not gone our way. We've not had a highlight in our favour. We've not scored a goal, and Samba has the ball at his feet. I was kind of hoping he'd miss it and it would go in for an own goal or something like that, but it's not quite happened that way. Lens looking to come forward, trying to keep their hopes of a top 5 finish intact right now. Imagine if we lose this game and then lose the next 2 games, and then Lens go on to overtake us into 5th place. The only thing that would make me feel better in that instance is Auxerre winning the cup and taking that European spot away from Lens. I'd be so frustrated if we drop from 5th right now. But Koba finds the ball through to Aziz. We've got men in the middle arriving. Anan is one of them, and super sub Anan gets his 7th of the season, brings us back on level terms, and actually, that would be enough as things stand. Yakubu's rating has gone up to a 7 after that assist. It was on a 6.1. I think what we'll do as well is we'll bring Mitrovic on as well for Ahmed, and maybe Pablo Martinez for Koba, because Busio's had a pretty good game out there. Belic not so much either, so we'll bring Tommy Doyle on. In the meantime, Fontane's got the ball at his feet. He finds Ahmed, who's about to come off the pitch and loses possession, but we do win it back with Marsa, who gives the ball away with a poor header, and Lens now on the hour mark have a chance to bring it forwards and get themselves back in front in this game. They need to win this game to keep their European hopes alive, so they are going to be fighting for it as Esteves misses his header. Lens can bring it forwards. We need to stop the cross, which we haven't quite done. A series of errors leading to that goal. Marsa's poor header, Esteves missing his header completely, not blocking the cross, not great for us. So actually that's a 4-point gap now between the two of us, which is still, enough for us to be comfortable right now, as long as we win another game and then we're fine. Mitrovic has a chance to level things on the day though. Hits the crossbar. My word. That is very unfortunate for him. Aziz Yakubu, I think we'll bring him off shortly for, in fact, we'll do it now for Brea Moreno, just because he's not playing particularly well. Looks anxious, apparently. So, maybe we have a chat with him afterwards and just say, lad, it's okay, chill. We know you're good at scoring. Unlucky today. We had to give Brea Moreno a shot instead because it just wasn't working for you. You were getting frustrated and anxious out there. And I don't want you anxious. I want you to be happy. I want you to be yourself. Be the best version of you. And if you're anxious, that's not the best version of you, I suppose. But either way, we are trying. I don't know what tangent I was going on there. Either way, we bring the ball forward with Fontaine now, who, if he can find Aziz... Oh, it's Brea Moreno on the pitch now. Aziz Yakubu's off. Moreno putting that shot just wide of the mark. Aziz Yakubu might have buried that one, to be fair, so maybe I regret taking them off. But the corner coming in from Tommy Doyle, that one finds its way onto the noggin of a defender, and then they can just about get the ball... Oh, someone's offside, so it's a free kick anyway. 15 minutes to go. Demand more. We have to get ourselves in front in this game, or at least level, to secure European football. Level with 7-point gap to Lens, that would be enough for us right now. But we're losing. It goes to 4 points. It's not ideal. And Moreno's way offside. Moreno is about 10 yards offside. It doesn't need to go to VAR. It's quite obvious he was a long, long way offside. I mean, look at that. Look at that, bless him. 20 shots we've had today and only scored 1. An XG of 4. Oh my word, I didn't even spot that. An XG of 4. What rating is their goalkeeper on? He must be on a 10 at least. Even conceding a goal, he must be on a 10 rating, or at least like a 9.5. To keep out an XG of 4 and limit it to 1, and keep their hopes alive for European football. He has played a blinder today. Who's their keeper? It's Bryce Samba, of course. Bryce Samba, we mentioned him quite a lot in the first half, didn't we? He has had an exceptional game. But hopefully, Nan is going to ruin that for him right now as he finds Brea Moreno. Moreno in the area. Moreno saved by Samba again. Only a 7.8 for Samba. Only a 7 point. I can't believe it's that low. Because he has just won them that game. I can't believe it. This is sickening. That 4.33 is sickening. So that actually keeps Lens in the race with us for 5th place. However, a 4-point gap, as long as we win our next game or Lens lose their next game, we're fine for 5th place. But with more games kicking off later on today, I think this will limit our chances of getting 4th place because Marseille lost, did they? Marseille? Didn't play. They must have played another time and lost at some point. I've missed that completely. They're on 60 points, 4 points ahead of us. Rennes won, so they go up to 61 points. So really, there's no chance of us getting 3rd or 4th, I don't think. Almost the end of the season for the second team. They've not had quite as good of a season as they did previously. However, we are playing a lot younger players in this team. Most of them are like 17 years old at most, really. So a 7th place finish for them in the 4th division is pretty good, although they've got a couple games still to go, so actually they probably could finish as high as 3rd, actually. But it's been good to bed some of those youngsters into the team. Whether we use some of them in the first team next season, I don't know. Probably not. We might recall the players that have been out on loan this season and bring them into the first team, and then some of our better youngsters, like our goalkeeper, for example, go out on loan next season in the 3rd division. And as if it was perfectly timed, look, some of our better players here, like Bastien has got to be in and around our first team next season. He is a decent Ligue player, has played there this past season in a VAFC team that are currently 5th in the division right now, as you can see. So they have got a chance of playoffs and promotion. Because he's playing right at the top of this division, you know, there's not many teams you can really go to improve next season. I think either he goes on loan to a team at the bottom of Ligue 1, or he stays with us. I would also assume the same as well with Marius, the centre mid. Although looking at him, he's probably not quite ready for our first team yet. He's only 19 years old. He is a decent 3rd division player. Where is he currently playing? Oh, in the 3rd division with Red Star, actually. Okay, maybe next season we look to bring him to the 2nd division. I don't think Sankara is ready. He's got 7 goals in that VAFC team, actually. So maybe he would be ready for a bench play, but that does say decent player for the 3rd division. I don't know, he's 22 years old now. He's not quite developed as well as we wanted him to. So I'm maybe thinking it's time to let him go. Anyway, our next game is against 2nd place Nice, which is going to be tough. And we are away from home and playing, a little later on than Lens. So, actually, that game against Angers is going to tell us a lot. Now, they are bottom of the table, Angers, so I'm expecting Lens to win. And Lens have, when it wants to load and get through his news items, they won 3-1. Okay, so now Lens are a single point behind us. If we win, we secure 5th place with 1 game to go. If we draw, it's a 2-point gap. If we lose, well, we then have to win our last game of the season. I really hope we don't bottle it from here. Gonna start Anand today, gonna start Mitrovic today as well. They're probably not quite ready to start. 45 minutes of action for both of them. We'll take them off at some point in the second half. Estevez has picked up a slight knock, apparently. He'll be fine to play this game. He's kind of got to because Zadaka is still out for the rest of the season. Let's risk it. Let's do it. Let's see what we can do. Now, Nice have completely secured 2nd place. They can't win. They can't drop the 3rd. So they're playing for nothing at this stage. Playing for absolutely nothing. So it would be nice if they could do us a favour and just roll over and give us the win. And then we secured our place in 5th. Although, Nice have... Right, well... Oh my, it's happening, isn't it? Are we actually going to lose 5th place? And any hope of European football? Imagine on the last day of this... I can't remember if we play on the last day of the season. I think it's Strasbourg we play on the last day of the season, and they're 16th. However, they are playing for their survival, unless, of course, Lorient win. If Lorient win their game, because they've got a game in hand right now, we'll look for the table in a second. But there might be a situation where Strasbourg aren't playing for anything and they are guaranteed to finish in 16th. How has that happened? What was Etienne Green doing? The cross comes in here, but it gets a deflection off the back of Fontaine, I think. And then Green just sort of watches it hit the post, doesn't really do much with it, and they score. So this game is already looking like a write-off. Which is not ideal. Yeah, if Lorient lose, then they will stay on 28 points, and then it's a battle between those two teams for 16th place, Strasbourg and Lorient. So they are playing for a lot in the next game, potentially. Thrash the arms, what was that? Get your act together. I'm going to shout demand more right at the start of the half, and I'm expecting my players to come out there and battle. But right now, no one's playing well. maybe we've been found out a little bit here, and potentially heading to next season, tactics need to be slightly tweaked. But it also just might be a case of our players are running out of steam. A lot of the players in my starting lineup right now, because of injuries, have played a lot of minutes recently and haven't had any break. But Nice are just toying with us right now as they bring the ball out from the back. Murillo turning, going back to the keeper out to Todibo, a great defender. They've got a very good team, Nice, actually. I think they are underrated in real life as well. I know we're a few seasons in at this point, so they made a few transfers. But in general, I think it's quite an underrated team as they almost make it 3. Changes to be made then. We forgot to talk to Yakubu, didn't we? But we're going to bring Brian Moreno on. I think this time we're going to bring Busio off. And I think that might be it, because none of the other players are game changers, to be fair. Let's just make those changes. Pablo Martinez is, Brian Moreno could be, the rest of them, maybe not so much. I'm pretty happy with our starting 11, actually. There's not going to be a whole lot of turnover heading into summer, because a lot of the players I'm happy with. Not many have got contract expiring. Only a couple of them go into their last season with contracts as well, so I will probably sell the players like Moreno who go into their last year of their contracts. And we just bring in better rotational players. We need to have more game changers on the bench. And of course, that makes squad management a little bit harder because everyone wants to be starting games. You're not going to be able to find an Arnie Meyer, for example, who's happy to sign a contract as a squad player. He's been a joy to have this season because he's useful when we need him, but he's happy to sit on the bench and just earn a paycheck as we just put that shot wide of the post. I don't think as we get better and better, we're going to find many players like Arnie Meyer that are happy to come in, be good enough for what we need them to be, but just happy to sit on the bench. It's frustrating. I am thinking, though, although Aziz Yakubu starts off amazingly, maybe he does need replacing next season because he's been woeful, like I say. I mention it every game pretty much when he doesn't score. He's been woeful since coming back from the African Cup of Nations, and it's not like we're not having shots. Nan gets his 8th of the season there, gets us back in the game. I'm going to shout encourage here. But for example, we have had 11 shots, 5 on target. I'm sure Yakubu's had a lot of those, and he's done nothing with it. We barely see a highlight out of him. So I'm starting to think that maybe we need to be looking for a premium striker next season to replace him. But that's going to be expensive. I'm not quite sure what budget we're going to have yet. We'll find out after the Strasbourg game what budget we're going to get, unless we secure European football now with a win. But as we go 3-1 down, that's not going to happen. And it's a loss today. It's a loss. And so the narrative right now is that Lens have caught us up. They're a point behind us. And we might just be about to bottle European football completely. Lorient v Lyon. If Lorient win, they're safe from that relegation playoff spot. And then Strasbourg have nothing to play for. However, if they lose, which they have not done, they won. Oh my word, Lorient won. So Strasbourg have nothing to play for. So surely they'll just put the reserves out. To be fair, they have to save themselves from relegation in that relegation playoff. So actually, they've got a lot to play for, I suppose. However, the guy scored a striker for Lorient. He's been on my shortlist for a while because he's 19 years old, French, but is valued at 65 million, so maybe not. His finishing's actually quite low, but his composure is pretty high, so that might make up for it. Got 12 goals in 19 starts, though. Like, he knows where the back of the net is. Oh, I'm nervous now for this upcoming Strasbourg game. I don't deserve this. Like, if we go to Ligue and look at past positions, we have been in the top 5. My word, this is quite bad, isn't it? Since game week 9. Game week 9, we got into... No, game week 8, sorry. Game week 7. I can't even read. Game week 7, we got into the top 5. And we've not dropped outside of a top 5 since. Just imagine. I would quite like to come in 5th place to get Conference League football. I'd love to have a Conference League campaign. Although, as we said at the start of the video, this doesn't actually guarantee us European football. We then have to wait until the final of the French Cup. The Coupe de France final is on the 23rd, so a week after we play our game. Okay. I'm not going to change the lineup, I don't think, on the grounds that, no one on the bench has really got much match sharpness. So I'm going to trust the players that we've got here. In fact, Yakubu, discuss, warm player, criticise recent form. And I'm going to say, I believe in your ability to help this team. I'm not worried about your goal-scoring form. It will come back soon enough. Keep the faith. Thanks, that's all I need to do better in front of goal. He's guaranteed to score now. I'm fed up with our bad recent form. Go out there and put an end to it. And Belic seemed motivated, as did Aziz Yakubu. No one else seemed to really care much about that. So here we are, the final day of the season, and Annan almost gives us the perfect start. Koba's corner, though, is sent to the near post, and Fontan can't get his head on it, but we do maintain, we lose possession. No, right, let's not concede a goal here. Koba, great challenge. What a challenge that is from Koba. Recycling possession, getting us back forward as Vallejo now ends the highlight. Right, annoyingly, Lens have just opened up the scoring against Lehov. That is, and now we drop down to 6th. Right, this is the worst nightmare for us. So now we are in a situation where we have to win. And they're now 2-0 up Lens as well. We have to win. Because we're currently drawing right now to be on 57 points. That puts us a point behind them. We have to win this game. I'm going to go more positive with our stance. I'm also going to shout encourage. We'll shout encourage right now. Let's not get too upset with our players as we give the ball away. Strasbourg come forward. No, lads. You're not allowed to win. You've been rubbish all season, Strasbourg. You know. Ooh, thank goodness. Gonzalo Esteves finds Bucio. Back to Gonzalo Esteves. In the middle, cleared. Only as far as Fontan, though. He's been such a good player for us this season. Hopefully, he's going to deliver an inch perfect cross to the near far post, rather. And Annan is there to score his 3rd goal in 3 games. Thank goodness he's come back from injury, because I don't know where the goals would come from otherwise. And that will give us the points we need to go back into 5th place, 1 point ahead of Lens. We just need to win this game. We are in control of our own destiny. Good first half performance, everyone. Keep it up. Everyone seems happy with that. Keep the happiness up, keep morale up, and we should go on to win this game. But there is a highlight straight from kickoff, and a 1-goal lead is not much. We need to... I can't even talk. I'm so nervous I can't even talk. We need to get a great challenge in there, which we have done. Get to the other end of the pitch. And Gonzalo Esteves, who started off the move, I thought was about to finish it with a shot. Instead, he finds Fontan, who can't finish it off. But right now, we are doing enough. This is enough right now. And Nan's actually got a knock. I think we may take him off then. How bad? I mean, it's not a potential knee injury. I know it's not too bad, but he is hampered by the injury. If he makes a mistake and then we lose the match, you know, that wouldn't be very good for us. So let's take him off just to protect us and him, as Mitrovic skips past his men, edge of the area. Go on, lad, take the shot. Oh my word, it was on target, but Karius makes the save. How the mighty have fallen in Loris Karius, by the way. Lens are 3-1 up. They have won that game. There's no way Lehov are coming back into that one at all. We are still just about in front in this game. Strasbourg, only 2 shots in the entire match, 0 of them on target. We are maintaining this lead right now. I'd love a second goal to make me feel better, but as we go into the final 5 minutes of the game, I think we may have, well, just done enough. 5 minutes of added time. I don't care about anyone else. I just care that we've won the game. We've got 5th place. And as it stands right now, that is European football. Nice work, everyone. That was good. My word, we were lucky. We were very, very lucky because our form at the end of the season was not good at all. We also get £9.5 million for that 5th place finish, which is lovely. Yeah, our form was not good. Draw, 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 win, loss, loss, win. I mean, that is not great. But now we have to wait for the Coupe de France final. Although apparently it doesn't matter to the board. The board have given us 15.7 million to spend and £475,000 per week in wages. I mean, it's only an extra £7,000 per week to spend. We're going to have to sell some players, free up some wage budget, and probably move some of that transfer budget into the wage budget. Club vision and expectations. What is this then? Record a top half finish at the end of next season. I think we can do that. Accept current vision. End of season team meeting. Well done, lads. Good stuff. Let's not talk about anything right now. Enjoy your summers. They're off on a summer holiday. We now get to decide our training camp destination. We can go to Switzerland, United States, or China. You know what? I'd like a little trip to the US of A, I think. Let's go there. Anyway, it's the 23rd of May now. This is when the Cup final is happening. Auxerre versus Marseille. We need Marseille to win. We need Marseille to win. I'm going to press continue. Please, Oh, that's confirmed it, look. Lorient get a Europa League spot, as do Marseille. Rennes get the Conference League spot. We get nothing. All that oh no. All that hard work. The board don't know yet. The board don't know. They've not seen the table and the cup final results. Now, there is one more chance of European football, and that's if PSG, Nice, Marseille, Rennes or Auxerre also win this season's Champions League, Europa League or Europa Conference League, because then that will qualify them for another competition and drop their league qualification to us. However, the Conference League final is Fiorentina versus AGF from Denmark, so no French side there. The Europa League was won by Tottenham against Villa, so no French team there. PSG for the Champions League final? No, it's Arsenal. Okay, we're out. We're out of Europe. Well, it just means next season we have to work harder. Next season, we have to put more of our efforts into getting a top 4 place and getting ourselves into the Europa League.